What's good, guys? It's Khalil Jamar. Hope that all is well with you guys. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. If this is not your first time on my channel, welcome back. Now, some of you might have seen or heard about the fight between the boxing match, I should say, between Thor and Eddie Hall. And the fight itself was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I was way more impressed than I thought I would be. They fought pretty well. I thought it was just going to be a slugfest, them throwing punches and continuously missing each other, but honestly they were connecting on some pretty big hits. And even though Eddie Hall had lost, he was showing his little Muhammad Ali a little bit, and he was able to dodge punches. But at the end of the fight, he had like this defensive stance that I had no clue what he was doing. But nonetheless, it was a pretty good fight, and this was an important fight and an important boxing match because these two are known as two of the best strongmen ever. And they've achieved incredible feats and have completed incredible lifts within strongman and set records that most people thought would not happen. For example, in 2016, Eddie Hall was able to break the world deadlift record, and he was able to deadlift 1,102 pounds. Now, Thor had followed up in May of 2020 and was able to deadlift 105 pounds. Now, the level of strength that these strong men have, whether they're at the level that Eddie Hall or Thor or somebody like Brian Shaw are at, regardless of their level, a strongman competitor, their strength way outside of the realm of strength that powerlifters have. And there are a few reasons as to why. First, you can see that it's visibly clear that there's a difference between a elite powerlifter and an elite strongman. One, most strongmen are over the height of 6 feet. It's not surprising to see guys be above the height of 6'5" and weigh more than 300 pounds. I mean, you can look at guys like Tom Stoltman, Thor, and Brian Shaw and see this. I think Brian Shaw is about 6'8" and over 300 pounds. So these guys are visibly larger than the average powerlifter. And honestly, strongmen need to be built this way because of the level of strength that is required to even compete at a strongman competition. Now, in powerlifting, yes, of course, great strength is required, especially if you want to be one of the top powerlifters at your competition. Great strength is definitely required, but you only are going into meet expecting to lift 9 times across 3 different lifts. In strongman, there are over 5 events that need to be completed, and that's the final event. Now, in these final 5 or 6 events, these include the Giants medley, the Atlas stones, and the log lift. And in some of these events, you're not going for just 1 rep, you're going for multiple reps. So there's also an endurance aspect to a strongman competition. It's not about just being stronger than everybody else there. How long can you stay strong? Can you stay stronger than your competitors throughout each event? Now, this, of course, is not to say that powerlifters can't become strongmen, though. We have seen powerlifters like John Hack compete at a strongman competition. I don't think it was like the world strongman competition, but we have seen him compete within a strongman competition, and he's pretty decent. But it's clear that John Hack, while he's an elite level powerlifter and probably one of the greatest powerlifters of all time, the same strength that he needed to become one of the greatest powerlifters of all time, that strength would not translate to strongman and make him one of the strongest strongman of all time, or make him the world's strongest man. He would have to do a lot more work to get to that level and definitely put on a lot more weight. But with that said, I'd argue that most strongmen can come into powerlifting and completely dominate the sport without even trying, just like that swimmer had done it. Now, the sport of strongman is also way more competitive. In strongman, you have to qualify to even really compete at a chance of becoming a strongman or the world's strongest man. Now, to even qualify to participate in the final 5 events that I talked a little bit about earlier, you have to go through 5 events prior. And at World's Strongest Man, I think 2021, these events included the loading race, squatting for reps, fingers, the overhead medley, and the pickaxe hold. Then I believe the top performers from each of these events make it to the final 6 events. Now, the amount of physical challenges not meant for the average human being that these guys have to perform in, it's more impressive that these guys even get a chance to compete, for example, at a World's Strongest Man. To me, that's more impressive than somebody becoming a world champion within powerlifting. Strongmen also have to kind of game plan a little bit differently, and I think a little bit more extensively than powerlifters have to. And here's what I mean. When someone goes into a powerlifting meet, they won't expect anything out of the ordinary. For example, they know that when they come in, they're going to squat, bench press, then deadlift. You're not gonna deadlift before you bench press. You're not gonna squat, then deadlift, and bench press. Everything's going to be the same. And that's why, for example, the USAPL encourages you to read the rule book before you go to your first meet. Now, within Strongman, it's not the same. Strongmen, there could be certain details added to an event in order to add an element of surprise and I think excitement to the sport of strongman. And the reason I think that there's an element of surprise added into the strongman competitions is because the standard for how strong you are is way higher. Strongmen, you're supposed to be, it's almost expected that you're ready for anything. So anything they throw at you, anything that they change, you should be ready for because you're just that strong. Now, these are some of the reasons that strongmen, in my opinion, are stronger than powerlifters. I think most people know this already, but in case there's anyone out there that believes a powerlifter is stronger than a strongman, if there's anybody that thinks that, it's not true. Strongmen are definitely stronger than powerlifters. That's not to say, though, that there are some powerlifters that are stronger than strongmen. And I think that there are a few powerlifters who could compete as strongmen if, you know, they cap off on their powerlifting career and they need a new challenge. I think there's a few of them. But guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you do like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me whether or not you think powerlifters are stronger than strongmen, or do you think strongmen are stronger than powerlifters? I think we all know what the answer is to that. Also, if you have any more information on the differences between a strongman and a powerlifter, definitely leave that in the comment section as well. Again, thank you for watching. See you guys later.